Mute. It is a lovely good afternoon. You're now watching the Nation of Pulse on Millennium TV. Thank you for joining us this afternoon on the program. It is so good to be back on your screen this Wednesday afternoon. I'm really hoping that it can be a Thursday or it can be, a Friday, so that we get into the weekend and just maybe get some rest. It's already been a long week, if you ask me. So I was hoping that when I wake up today, it's going to be a Thursday or a Friday or Saturday or something. But it's so lovely the Wednesday afternoon, and I'm so glad to be on your screen this afternoon, our dear viewer. And so glad that you can also join me this afternoon on the Nation of Pulse program. It is always great to be on your screen, to get interactive, to discuss and to just look at what is currently trending and what is currently happening in the country, and just to get into all of those conversations. My name is Lovisa Chilufeo, coming to you live and direct from our Longika studios right here in Lusaka, Zambia. And of course on Facebook, we are Millennium TV Zambia. On your Topsa decoders, we're coming to you live on channel 95. This afternoon, we discuss if the Tonse Pamosi Alliance does have or stand a chance in this year's general election. Does the Tonse Pamosi Alliance stand a chance in this year's general election? Joining me via video this afternoon on the program is a former Petauke Central Member of Parliament, Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda. He joins me via video to get into our conversation this afternoon. Honorable, good afternoon. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Firstly, I want to pass my greetings to all the listeners, and also for everyone in the country who have been praying for peace during this tripartite general election. It's not easy for the country to have peace, because that's when the temperature and tempers of the people usually can be high, because looking at what they have gone through for the past 5 years, you'll find that they start now remembering what they have been going through. So because of that, the tempers usually be high. And that's why we always pray and ask for each and every patriotic Zambian to put the country in prayers, to have peace. That is very important. Thank you so much.
And how have you been? Let me begin from there, and also let us talk about the transition of your names from Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda. You now go by, is it Miracle Banda? What's with the transition in your names?
Yeah, thank you so much. This transition, when I look at what has happened for the past 5 years, to me today I can say this is a miracle, because the certificate I was awarded, which I received from the leadership of suffering, they are the ones which made my name to be changed. In fact, it doesn't change, but it's just an additional. So I'm miracle. In fact, Emmanuel, God is with us. That's my first name. Then miracle, because whatever has happened, it's a miracle. Then J, it's another name. It's also still there existing. And Banda, that's a family name. So all the names are there. Despite that my names were only 3 names on my NRC, but now I think when I come back, because I'm able to see what is ahead now. That's why I've been even warning in the country to say there'll be this, there'll be this, there'll be this, and everything has been coming to pass. Why? Because I'm able to see. So I'm able to see to say next month as I'll be arriving in the country, after settling down, I'll be heading to court to go and get the affidavit so that I add the fourth name from the three names I have. And all of them, they have got meanings. Emmanuel, remember, Emmanuel, in the Bible, it's God who is with us. Then whatever has happened to my life, for me to be talking to you instead of live sitting in that studio, but you are interviewing me via video on the phone. That also, it's because of miracle. That's why that name was coming. Then Banda, it's a family name. Yeah.
Let us talk about, firstly, before we get to you saying that you'll be arriving in the country next month, let us talk about your support for the Tonse Pamosi Alliance candidates, Makebi Zulu as well as Brian Munduwile. But before we also get into details about your support for the Tonse Pamosi Alliance candidates, let us talk about what position you hold in the Tonse Alliance.
Yeah, thank you so much. As I've told you to say, I've changed my names. I added my name to my existing names, Miracle. And I've told you to say, I'm able to see what is ahead. I'm able to see if there's danger ahead, I'll tell you. If there's celebration ahead, I'll tell you. Just after the death last year in June, the death of the former president, 60th Republican President, Dr. Edgar Chagwalungu. We started now. We had started as opposition. Then we wanted someone who can lead the opposition. And there are a lot of people who came on board. Remember, if I take you back, I think when you get my statements, if you have been a follower of mine, even anyone who has been following me, I've never changed. I've been always telling people what's ahead. It's only that people at that time, they never used to pay attention so much. But right now, they are able to see. Because from that time, we wanted, in the Tonse Alliance, which Dr. Edgar Lungu left the Zambians with. Remember, there was a struggle. Who is going to become the leader of Tonse Alliance? And if anyone who is watching and listening right now, the moment there are some names which came on board, despite those names who had applied in 2021 to take over from ECL. There was two names which came on board. Makebi Zulu and Honorable Given Lubinda. They also applied to join three names, and Mudoro. Three names came on board to say they want to join who is going to lead Tonse. And remember, I think there was one of the my video which I made, which I went live on my page, which I said, Honorable Given Lubinda, can you maintain what ECL left you with? Remember, you agreed with your friend ECL to say, you'll be a kingmaker. So can you move out from being an aspirant, be a kingmaker, help the country to come up with a leader? But, of course, some people doubted me. They called me, he challenged me, he went to KBN TV, and then he challenged me to say, no. Yes, even if I agreed with ECL to say I'm a kingmaker, but I'm also a Zambian, I've got rights also to participate. But I told him to say, no, sir, I'm not seeing you being as a president. Then from there, I think I advised in the leadership. And the leadership, they removed him because him I saw. There is something which I saw with him, which I can't disclose here, but I only disclose to the inner circle, which I said to say, this is the Tonse. For us to have a president, let's go quickly let's remove PF as the party, because PF, it was contaminated with the UPND brand. So I advised everyone to say, can you remove PF, then invite the friends of Israel to come and go and choose a leader. I can't get you, you're muted.
What do you mean when you say the PF was contaminated with the UPND blood?
Yeah, what I mean that PF was contaminated by UPND blood is, PF was taken to court because of that illegal conference, which these two leaders, although people couldn't see, me, I saw it, as I've told you to say, I always see what is ahead. That's why I'm here. And I've seen, I'm sure I'm the second person who can see what is ahead of the other, which will talk about it, about Bushiri. I saw what happened to Bushiri, and exactly it's what is happening to me. So similarly, there's some similarities there. So anyway, that one is a story for another day. So when I saw it to say, Mao Sampa advised the leadership, let me come out in open, I advised the leadership to say, you are contaminated because the PF party, it's in court with Chavinga and there's Mao Sampa. And don't think that you are with Mao Sampa. Mao Sampa, you are not with him. Mao Sampa is still working with the UPND, so it's contaminated. That's how I said that it was contaminated, because Chavinga and Mao Sampa both were working with UPND. So that's a contaminated, which I said. So because of that, I asked them to say, can you remove PF? We want to choose a leader. And everyone, they started talking now, say, no, it's not good, it's not good. Then immediately when they moved PF, they went for a convention. This is how Brand Mundubire emerged as the winner. And the leader of the Tonse. Then immediately from there, I told them to say, let's go now, because I'm seeing what is going ahead. And me, having an organization in the Eastern Province, and Zambia Club, I've got followers across the country. And back in our region, Eastern Province, I've got an organization called Tractor Movement. And this Tractor Movement, in 2021, it delivered 3 members of parliament at National Assembly. Nyimba constituents, Petauke Central constituents, and the Wangeni constituents. These 3 were delivered by Tractor Movement, headed by myself here. And in all these other constituencies across the province, in Eastern Province, in 2021, Tractor Movement came second, where I had managed to field in candidates. So it's not just a small organization. You can imagine there are other organizations just with 1 member of parliament. Some of the other political parties, they didn't even have any members of parliament. But me, with my organization, I had 3 members of parliament in parliament. Councillors, I had 10. Members of, I had 2. So you can see this is the organization. So I quickly organized my structure. In my absentia, they went and joined Tonse Alliance. And they were unveiled. It's there on the media. When you check, just Google, you see the day they joined. After joining, I said, I sent my Secretary General. He's the one who represented me there, my Secretary General. Because in Tonse Alliance, each organization has got the leader who is the president and the Secretary General. And amongst those Secretary Generals, we have got now the Secretary General for Tonse, who is Comrade Zuma. So now he's looking at these other Secretary Generals. So
Telling us.
I can tell you that It's not just a name. Why I've been explaining this, because some people, they may think to say this organization is just a name on the paper. That's why I had to give you the background.
All right, so you're telling us, Honorable Emmanuel, that this organization of yours has got influence within the Tonse Alliance, and this is why you speak so much for the Tonse Alliance.
Yes, it's got influence, but my speaking, it's not about a political affiliation. Because whatever I want the people, I've told you to say I can able to see what is in front. What is ahead.
You're able to see what is in front. How are you able to do it? Are you some sort of prophet now that you're able to see what is coming ahead?
No, I'm not a prophet, but I'm a messenger.
Okay.
So
what's the difference?
No, there's a difference. A prophet is the one maybe anointed to prophesy, maybe your life, your future, but the messenger, you are just given like to say, go and deliver this. Go and do this. So as a messenger, I can see to say, because it's like you have been given the paper to deliver to Millennium TV. So you have already gotten the paper. So which means you already have an eye ahead to say you are going to deliver the papers to Millennium.
Okay. Let us quickly move on to talking about our topic of discussion this afternoon, Honorable Emmanuel Banda, talking about the Tonse Pamosi Alliance and their chance, if they stand a chance to win this year's election. I think from most of your submissions on your official Facebook page, we have seen you repeatedly say that President of the Tonse Pamosi Alliance, Brian Mundubile, is the next president of Zambia. What gives you this much assurance that President Mundubile will be the next president of the Republic of Zambia?
Thank you so much. Why I've got this confidence, because the Republican president, Mr. Gainde Ichilema, is also, I worked with him. I worked with him. I was very close with him. Remember, I was one of the independents who went with him to China. In China there, we had a good time. We came back together. If you remember, there was one time when he went, the first trip he went to America. When he was coming back, I was one of the people whom we had requested to say, I want Honorable Emmanuel Milako Banda to welcome me, together with the other independents like Honorable Pinwa Mpundu. We were there welcoming him. We had a good time at the airport, which everyone is able to testify about that. So because of that, I've seen his type of leadership. And as I've told you to say, as a messenger, there's a message I'm carrying for the country. So, which means I've already seen to say, this message which I'm carrying, the one who is going to win, it's this one. So why should I waste time? And for those people who are still doubting, look, I told when we didn't have a leader, I told you, Arubinda, to say, you're a kingmaker, so stop wasting time, just join the friends. It came to pass. Where is Mr. Rubinda today? Mr. Rubinda is seated there. Then I told everyone to say, come, the leader, it's Brian Mundubile. But they were arguing. But today, everyone they have seen now to say, whatever Milako said, whatever Emmanuel, God who is with us, said, it's true. So everyone they have come. Let's go to the president of DU, who just endorsed the president 2 weeks ago at Hero Stadium when he was launching. See what he has posted today. I already prophesied about that. Not prophesied, I already delivered the message about that to say, even people start leaving him. And that if you see his statement and the conversation between him, President Njovu, and the EU, you are going to see to say, He's no longer with Hakainde. In the marriage of a month, he's already looking for reason to divorce Hakainde. Hakainde, yes, he's our outgoing president. We are supposed to give him all the respect, which I don't want even to insult him here on the media. I respect him so much. There's some other issue which I've asked him as a messenger to do. When he do those things, unless he do those things which I've asked him to do, yes, maybe God can change, can tell me to say, no, this file, hold it, don't deliver as a messenger.
Right. A lot of people, sorry to cut you short, a lot of people have criticized your style of doing politics, especially now that you're not in the country, Honorable. As you've been seen to criticize President Hakainde Hichilema, not in a manner that doesn't seem to sit well with a lot of people here in Zambia. And a lot of criticized you in the style that you're doing your politics, much as you are vying for or supporting Mundubile. Others feel that you don't have to, bring down others by way of you trying to make sure that people see that Mundubile is a person that you are supporting. And a lot of people are criticizing you over maybe your postings on social media, on your Facebook page, your live streams on Facebook as well, the information that you post on your official Facebook page. A lot of people are criticizing you over that. I don't know how you react to that.
Thank you. What I can tell you is that I'm sure the people who knows my politics, let them go to Petauke, let them Google. In Petauke, I used to be insulted. I used to be called on names to say I'm a Magdala, I'm a thug, I urinate into people's mouths, I do this and this by my predecessor. But I never started attacking her back. What I did, go back. You're going to say, I used to ask the people to pray for her so that she can change. To pray for her so that she can change. And I used also to ask, because we have got our cultural values back home in my constituency. I used to ask elderly women to get my predecessor so that they can sit her down, to teach her how to respect men. That's all. I don't insult. Even on my postings, I'll tell you to say, I've never insulted, but me, I only do what God says. Because even whatever I post, whatever I say, because the Bible says, I'll quote the Bible. The Bible, God said through the Bible to say, ask, you shall be given. So when I ask something from God, I don't think that's an insult, or I don't think that's a bad criticism. It doesn't mean that I'm criticizing that person.
Right. Accusing the head of state of being a Freemason, you've spoken about the vice president also failing to go to some sort of shrine on your Facebook, Mr. Honorable. Is that the way that politics is supposed to be conducted, by demonizing others so that you have your way?
Look, that's why the people, why now they are following me too much? Because I like calling a spade a spade. And that one, I'm not first. Let me tell you this. I'm not accusing, because the time I was abducted, I was taken to that shrine. So if me, the one who went to the shrine, if me, I start telling the people what I saw, is it accusing? So to you, you can say it's accusing, but me, I'm telling you what I saw with my eyes. So that's not accusing. And then two, the predecessor to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, the founder, just get a phone there and Google, the founder, and Mr. Anderson Mazoka, he was a Freemason, and it's in public domain. he announced to say, I'm denouncing now Freemason, I'm joining Christianity. So all that, is it me? And that happening in 2001. So there in 2001, he denounced, he said to say, I've left the Freemason. I'm now going I want to be one of the Christians. So why didn't you call the founder of UPND to say is accusing himself? And
even if you speak about certain things from your own experience, there's definitely no proof that people can say this is what happened. You speak about certain things from your own experience, and it's okay and it's right for people to say you're accusing the head of state, Honorable J. Banda. And if we're going to talk about this year's general election, don't you think that what you should be doing is discussing ideologies of the Tonse Pamosi Alliance instead of dragging the head of state's name in the mud?
No, I'm not dragging his name in the mud. Unless you tell me to say, Mazoka, when he said that he's leaving Freemason now, he wants to concentrate, the founder of UPND, when he said that he's leaving Freemason because he wants to concentrate on building UPND, he was putting mud to UPND. Is that what you're telling me? Because who was the witness of Mazoka leaving Freemason? Whom Mazoka was not criticized. But you people, you want to criticize me by me and you about the shrine where I went and asking President Hakainde Hichilema to leave the shrine the way Anderson Mazoka left the shrine. Because
let us talk about the chances that President of the Tonse Alliance, Brian Mundawile, has in this general election, and why you're so optimistic that he will carry the day. As you say, you're the messenger, and you only say what is coming ahead because you see it. Let us talk about the chances that he has in this year's election against the UPND and President Hakainde Hichilema.
Thank you so much. This year, I can tell you it's about 98%. Brian Mundawile will be the president. Why am I confident? It's because as a messenger, God wants to bring back the Christianity values in the country. God wants to see, as a journalist, go to Woodlands. You are going to see there's a church, the Church of National Prayers. And the day was created for 18 October. After creating that 18th, then they decided to build that church. And the government had put a ministry to start guiding the Christianity values. But Mr. Hakainde Hichilema removed that ministry. He had to halt the construction. Up to now, the construction is not going on. All that, God is not happy. God is upset. That's why one of the prophets who I follow too much, Prophet Ingra, said to say, Hakainde is the soul. So when Prophet Joshua Ingla from Nigeria, when he said Hakainde is a soul, why didn't the UPND criticize him? And then, you remember, even this year, I'll tell you about the same prophet. In 2021, is the same prophet who prophesied to say, President Hakainde Hichilema is winning. And this year, last year, I think this year, early this year, he prophesied to say, the opposition, if you are not coming together, the same soul will sit strong on the chair. But if you come together, the soul is gone. Because God is not happy. And that the opposition, they have fulfilled that, they had that advice from Prophet Joshua Ingla from Nigeria. All of them, they have come together. We can see now to say the number of opposition when Prophet Ingla was issuing that prophecy. The presidential candidates were more than 39 who had paid 100,000 kwacha at ECZ. But today, check at the ballot how many there are. There are only 13 on the ballot. Because even in President Sebia Chungu has withdrawn and he has put the weight on Brian Monowit. So you can see that all the opposition, imagine the number dropping from 29 to 13. It's not easy. So which means the opposition, they have listened to the advice even from the other prophets. And indeed, the people say, the prophet is not recognized in his own country. Like me, I've been advising to say, this is the route we are supposed to go. From way back, I've been saying to say, let's go with Brad Mondovile. This is where the future is. This is the message I'm carrying. But they never used to get me. But now the other prophet from Nigeria, when he spoke to say, if the opposition you are not, that's why I got to that prophet. He says that if the opposition, you are very selfish, the opposition. If you are not coming together, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, his seat will be solid. You see? That's why
you're a former lawmaker for one of Zambia's biggest constituencies, Petoka Central, Honorable. Why is it that you have restricted the debate on politics, or rather, leadership of the Tonse Pomosi Alliance and everything that is happening in the country to spirituality, instead of what most of the people can relate to, in terms of this also translates into some of the concerns that the people of Zambia have. Why have you decided to limit this year's election, or who takes over leadership after the August 13th general election, to spirituality?
Thank you so much. Why I've done that? Mainly, for me, first, peace is very important. Peace supersedes everything, my sister.
Peace for who?
Peace. Peaceful. In a peaceful country, if there's peace in the country, supersede everything.
You think there's no peace in the country at the moment?
Sorry?
You think there's no peace in the country at the moment?
Yes, there's no peace, because if there was peace, we wouldn't have had people being in the exile, because it's the first time people being on political asylum in our country. Our country has been known as a country which has been keeping people, deceiving people from other countries on asylum. But for the first time now, to have political prisoners. But before, we used to have political prisoners, but they never used to exceed 3 months. The president will come back to his senses. Even Kaunda was in prison, but after a certain period was released. Even Hichilema, Hakainde Hichilema, was in prison, but after certain months, people came in as they advised the sitting president. He was removed. Even Kaunda, even Sata. We can call all the leaders that have been in cells, that have been in prison in cells, but not long like this. But that's what I'm saying. Peace supersedes everything. For now, you can see to say, for the first time in the country, to have a funeral, keeping a former head of state for more than 1 year. It's unusual. These are the things, that's why we are calling to say peace is very important. Sometimes, even as a leader, you should remove politics, put politics aside. Say, no, this now is not politics. Remember what happened with Sata, when Sata was sick. When there was that, they were alive for these two leaders, Levy and Sata. But Levy picked his own challenge and private jet to take Sata, to evacuate Sata to the hospital in South Africa. And Sata was there. From there, we saw Sata and Levy shaking hands. Even Sata appreciating Levy. But even in the other countries, we have seen that in Kenya, whereby you see other leaders shaking hands. But why not in our country? That's why I'm saying to say this battle is spiritually. That's why for us to remove, to bring back Christianity values, because our country is a Christian nation. So
apart from Christian values, what do you think is an immediate priority of, or rather, what is the immediate priority of the Tonse Pamosi Alliance leader, President Brian Munduwile, and his running mate, Makebi Zulu? What is it that the UPND government and President Hakainde Hichilema hasn't done well for the people of Zambia that you think Munduwile is and should be the next alternative president for the country?
Thank you so much. You know, they say, the Bible says, food is life, water is life. These two things, when you deliver to the people food, when you deliver to the people water, which means the people, and they have got peace, which means the country is okay. Me, I wouldn't mind whether that president is beneath is a Satanist, a Freemason, but it delivers about food and peace and water. So let's talk about food. You know, our country's economy is being controlled by agriculture sector, which is the food. Then this agriculture sector, go to FRA right now. The FRA has been looted. I'm sure you watched my live broadcast last evening. That's right. You saw that the FRA right now, they are bankrupt. They don't have any money. That's why I wonder, you journalists, you should be visiting such organization, because it's a parastatal company, FRA. And then the people in government, those people who are connected to the powers that be, that controls the country, they have rooted all the money in FRA. FRA doesn't have money. The farmers are crying right now. Remember, even last year, they told the people, they started buying maize from FRA in June, 1st June. But this year we are talking about, this is 20, today is 23rd or 22nd. 22nd, there's quiet at FRA. And then they want to lie to the people to say the moisture content is still high. But go to all the private milling companies. They are buying maize. And them also, before they buy maize, they check the moisture content. But that issue of moisture content, I'm sure that's why Miracle, the messenger, yesterday delivered the message to the farmers to say it's not about the moisture content, but it's about the money at FRA was looted. And I even gave the list of the people. On the first page, the list is wrong. But on the first page, I gave the people who have looted the money. That's why right now when you go to FRA, you find that even for them to pay the farmers for last year, they paid this February. This year's February. 2026 February. That's when they were paying farmers. And where did they get this money? They got this money from the bank. They had to put the sheds, the FRA storage sheds, full with maize. They took the same sheds with maize as a collateral at the bank. And the government, up to now, they haven't paid back the money from January when they got the money from the bank. They haven't paid even the bank. Now, how are they going to buy other maize whilst they haven't paid the maize for last year? So this is why we are saying to say, as Miracle, I won't stop talking. Because right now, I'm sure it was God's making for me to be outside so that I can tell the farmers. Because you have seen, even the head of set, you know you have been a journalist. And as a journalist, you know very well to say the Constitution says whatever the president says, it's a policy. But look, the president was in Petauke the other week. The president promised the people to say, I'm going to start buying maize. Tomorrow I'm starting buying maize. But the FRI, they did a U-turn to say, no, we don't have money. But they can't say we don't have money. They had now to use the term to say the maize, the moisture content is still high, which is not true. What about these other milling? Go to Nutrifeed in Waterforce there. You are going to find more than 200 trucks are there wanting to offload maize. You see, wanting to offload maize and moisture content is just okay. So I invite through this platform, I invite the board chairman for FRI and the board chairman for FRI and also the executive director for FRI to go to Nutrifeed and to go to Pembe. So
this is one of the reasons you think that President Mundubile is better suited to run the affairs of the nation.
Yes, because President Brian Mundubile won't allow the cadres to go and loot FRA and make FRA bankrupt, because we need to appreciate the farmers for giving us, for them to giving us maize. Because remember, our staple food in our country, it's in Shima. In Shima, Shima, it's from where? It's from maize.
Why should the people of Zambia believe that President Mundubile is better for Zambia?
Yeah, they are going to believe to say Mundubile is better because whatever he has been doing, Mundubile in parliament, that's why you have seen to say all the parliamentarians, even the time Mundubile stepped in, all of them, those who didn't have cases, those who had cases, they went to UPND. But those who didn't have cases, they joined Mundubile, including Honorable Tasira. You saw they were aspiring candidates there. And some of them, they came even from, there were some of them, like the vice president was Honorable as the daddy's lawyer. But imagine Honorable Tasira had to endorse Brian Mundubile, leaving the family lawyer. So it should tell you something. To say there's something with Mundubile.
Allow me to open our phone line, Honorable, as we proceed with our conversation. For those that are tuned in this afternoon, phone line is officially open. You can call through and be part of the conversation by calling the number that is on your screen. For those that are joining us via social media, there's a number on the Facebook live stream, so you can also be part of the conversation this afternoon, and just call the number 0978 335770. That is the number that you'll be getting in touch with us on to be part of the program. The number is 0978 335770. Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda, former Petauke Central Member of Parliament, is joining me this afternoon on the program via video and if you want to be part of the conversation, you can call us on the number that is on your screen, 0978 335770. That is the number that you're using to dial. Good afternoon. Hello, good afternoon. Seem to have lost that call. 0978 335770 is the number to get in touch with us on the program. The number is on your screen. Do call us, be part of the conversation, and tell us where you are calling from. Hello, you're through to the program.
Okay, good afternoon, Madam Moderator.
Good afternoon, sir. Tell us your names and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Rusaka Matero. Good afternoon, Honorable JJ Banda.
Good afternoon to you that side. Here it's still morning.
Okay. So now my contribution on this issue. There's somewhere where you director asked Mr. JJ Banda concerning the issue of do you think there is no peace in this country? On that note, me I can tell you to support Mr. JJ Banda to say there is no peace in this country. Why I'm saying so? Because if you talk about peace, we have to compare, or we have to bring in the issue of fairness. If there is fairness in this country, the way they are applying the rule of law, it must be equal to each and everyone. You know, this country, the way they are operating, this current leadership, they are selective, whereby if there's someone who is supporting them, then it means whatever they can do, or if they can commit any crime, they can't be arrested. I will give you a simple example. Sean Tembo was attacked during Kawamba by-election. He went to the police to report, and then the police chased him. So how can you call it as peace? If we are peaceful people in this country, we must see with our naked eyes to see there is fairness and then there is peace. Right now, as I'm speaking to you right now, in conclusion, let me tell you this. Currently, I'm having a call out right now, just because there was a video, just recently, there was a video circulating those people who claimed that they are from VM movement, and they were sent by Kenneth Kamba. It was last week. And then, there should be 3 or after 2 or 3 days, there was another picture. It seems to be those people who were on those masks, and then I tagged the Zambia Police Service to say, please tell us. We are again seeing this another picture compared to that picture in that video from those people who are claiming to be BM movement being sent by Kennedy Kamba. Please, as police, help us, because as citizens, we are afraid. Try to help us so that this issue cannot go and so.
So what do you have? Where was the call out issue?
A call out yesterday from the police that they have to report to the police concerning the same issue. So now, if you are saying that there is peace in this country, is it selective application of the law? That's what we.
Mr. Deska, allow us to understand what you are saying. So you were issued a police call out yesterday, yes, because you tagged the Zambia Police Service in what exactly?
I asked them to say I'm supposed to report for what issue, or who has come there to take a police call out for me. They refused to tell me. They just told me to say you have to report. So is this peace we are talking about? We are people who are asking them to do a favor on us so that we can live peacefully, and then they are calling us now to go to the police.
Right. Mr. Deska, thank you so much for coming through on the program. 0978-335770 is the number that you're dialing to be part of the National Pulse this afternoon. Honorable J. Banda is my guest. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're through to the program. Tell us your names and where you're calling from.
This is Peter calling from Lusaka.
Yes, Peter.
Yes, I wanted to Honorable JJ to tell us, because I think we've been waiting to hear what he saw and about the shrine, because I think this is we're in a political election year. So if Honorable JJ can tell the Zambian what he saw, so that we know, as because this is a Christian nation and they keep on talking about the shrine. So let Honorable JJ, we are remaining with less than 25 days. So let him tell the nation what he saw at that shrine, so that Zambians they know, even those who want to vote for the other part, so that they know what really is there. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter, for your question or contribution. 0978-335770 is the number to call if you want to be part of the conversation this afternoon. We have a few minutes before we wind up with our program this afternoon, but we'll allow for a few calls on the number that is on your screen, 0978-335770. That is the number that you're dialing to participate on the program. Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda, former Petauke Central Member of Parliament, is joining me this afternoon. Please reduce the volume on your TV.
Yes, can you get me?
We can get you. Please move away from the noise.
I'm actually using it. Are you having any discussion from me?
Sorry?
I'm actually using a Yes, are you having any difficulty on your end?
Yes. Okay, do call us back on the number that is on your screen, 0978 335 That is the number that you are using to be part of the conversation this afternoon on Facebook. It is Millennium TV Zambia. Be sure to tune in, be part of the conversation. Leave us a comment in our comment section and tell us where you are watching this program from, and do make your contributions using the number that is displayed on your screen. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. You're through to the program. Your name's and where you're calling from.
I'm senior citizen.
Senior citizen, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Lusaka.
Yes, please go ahead with your contribution,
First of
ma'am.
all, I want to say to my son, JJ, JJ, you are a blessing to the nation. Despite the names you are called, don't worry. Imagine Jesus came when he was born, but still they called him names. But the truth is, he is the savior of this world to whom everybody bows. The one they were saying is, he was nothing. To this day, he is the King of Kings, the God, the Lord of Lords, the small gods. But he belongs to the big God, whom we are talking about. That is, for us to have Zambia as a Christian nation, the name Christian comes from Christ himself. So don't worry that you are a blessing. It takes people to believe. Jesus came, there are many who have believed in him, there are others who have not believed in him. To this day, the choice is one, and each one is going to fight for salvation with tremble, fear and trembling as individuals. So even now what you are saying, let those who accept, accept. Those who don't do, let them be. Because the time, the truth is there. We are at a time of separation at this moment. Each one knows where they belong. Look at God himself who came. He who wanted us to be under his feet. How many have joined? How many belong to God? The choice is one thing. The spoken is the word of God. The word of God shall never at any time go void. It shall always accomplish what it sent for. God has sent you for a reason and a purpose.
Thank you so much, senior citizen. Thank you so much for your contribution.
My daughter and JJ, it's time to choose rightly. God bless you, JJ.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon. You're through to the program.
Oh,
Good afternoon.
good afternoon. How are you, madam?
I'm okay, thank you. Your name's and where you're calling from.
I'm calling from Eastern Province.
Your names, please. All right, so we seem to have lost our caller there. You can call us back on the number that is on your screen, 0978 335 On our board, Jay, let me give you a chance to respond to our callers.
Yeah, thank you. I'll start with the caller who said indeed he agreed to say there is no peace. He doesn't need a calculator or a prophet to say in our country there is no peace. Just a question to ask anyone to say, where is the former 60th Republican president today? The answer is there. When we ask it to say, for the first time in our country, FRA to go bankrupt, money looted by people who are affiliated to the powers that be. Today, when we say about Kalonga milling, go as a journalist, go and ask how much Kalonga milling owes FRA. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. It's not owing FRA million, but billions. Just Kalonga, one company, Kalonga milling. One company owes billion, and FRI is a food basket for our country. Then someone can able to question to say, why are we talking about that everything in our country is okay? No. Because you can, let me tell you, when me as the messenger see who carries the message of even the outcome of the election next month, just ask yourself to say, this FRI, where we are doing, this is the FRI where food is coming from. But now, if we had money in the treasury, by now, FRI would have been functioning. You see, FRI, if we had money, we wouldn't have been talking about what is happening, because you can check even every year, it's like traditional. Every year, even you journalists, you know that during farming time, the economy in our country usually shaken. There usually be no money in the circulation when farmers are busy back in the farms farming. Immediately after, when the harvest starts, our country usually be now back. Now you will be able to see now money in the circulation. So it will tell you to say agriculture is the one which controls our economy. So now, if a president doesn't unleash his army or his lieutenant to go and loot the food basket, then how safe is the country? That's a question which it's supposed to go to each and every voter. Me, I've told you to say, I accept my situation, what I've gone through. Even tomorrow, if Mr. Hakainde Hichilema can do what I asked him to do, and that one is not about a big thing, but it's concerning God. If he can do that one, then even tomorrow I can start supporting Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. I can start supporting Mr. Hakainde Hichilema because he has done which means now he's going to do what God asked him to do. To emulate exactly what his predecessor, the founder of UPND, did. This is what I want Mr. Hakainde Hichilema to do. And I don't think that is a big thing. Because I remember Anderson Mazoka just denounced. From there, he went to Catholic. From there, Catholic, they received him. He was baptized. He was also, Anderson Mazoka, he was also SDA. Just like Mr. Hakainde Hichilema is SDA. So it's just a simple thing which I'm asking Mr. Hakainde to do. Just to do exactly what Anderson Mazoka did, then I can support Mr. Hakainde Hichilema.
All right, Honorable J. Banda, as we come to the close.
Wait, let me just exhaust this one. I'm not going to allow as a messenger to see our country going to waste. No. That's why I'm busy asking people, the opposition have been visiting, even Mr. Membe, ask him, I had talked to him from last year to say, can you join your brother? Hari Kalava, we spoke, join your brother. Everyone in the opposition, I've talked to them to say, I've got this message. I'm just a messenger, and I delivered it to them. They'll tell you, even in President KBF, I've gone, in fact, President KBF with me, we get along. I delivered the message. To each and every opposition, no one can say, as long as the president has got any political party, I've communicated that message. I've delivered, including Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. I've delivered the message to say, the message which I have for you from God. It's a simple message, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. Do what your predecessor, the founder of UPA,
all right,
he did. Full stop, everything will be okay. That's all. So even you, the media, if you can help me to deliver this message to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, then that's okay. We'll be friends with me.
Well, we wish we could, Honorable, but as you've rightly put it, you are the messenger, so we'll let you deliver the message, and I'm sure you've been doing so on your platform. But as we come to the close of our conversation, Honorable Emmanuel Banda, let us talk about and this will be in your conclusion, the perception that the Tonse Pamosi Alliance doesn't have a viable manifesto for the people of Zambia. Rather, they are copying from the UPND. How do you respond to that in conclusion?
In conclusion, I think this one, I need a day to tell the nation. I'll put it on my platform, even you, if you can invite me, so that I can lay down the manifesto of Tonse Alliance. Tonse Alliance has got good manifesto. And Mr. Gainde Ichirema is the one copying. Go to Mpurungu. Mpurungu, who visited Mpurungu first? It was President Brian Mundubire. He's the one who visited Mpurungu first. And when President Brian Mundubire visited Mpurungu, President Brian Mundubire told the people of Mpurungu to say, and Wapula Northern to say, I'm going to remove fish ban. Because there's no way here in Mpurungu you can be experiencing fish ban when in Burundi there's no fish ban. In Tanzania, there's no fish ban. The same lake. In Congo, there's no fish ban. In same lake. You see, so all that, and when President Hichilema was going, when he went there, he repeated the same message which President Mundubire said. President Mundubire asked President Hichilema to say, my brother, can you open FRA? He asked when he was in Petauke. And the President Hichilema, when he went to Petauke, he repeated the same words to say, I'm opening FRA. So who is following each other? That's why sometimes I'm saying to say, there's something, and I've said it on my broadcast, to say there's a certain thing, because me, I've been to the shrine, and the people to be blinded now to start twisting things. They're being fed with the placentas and the foreskin. Sorry to say this, but this is the fact. We need to call a spade a spade. I'm a messenger. It's not coming from me, but it's the message which I carry and what I saw from the shrine. So
right.
Here,
Honorable.
I can ask you, you are a journalist. You are a journalist. Just tell me one statement where in the rallies where President Hichilema had said it, and then Honorable President Brian Mundubire comes and then says the same thing. Nothing. But everything what President Brian Mundubire has been saying, President Hichilema has been copying. Whenever he goes, he copies. When he went to Rundazi, at Rundazi he said that I will work on this road because Hichilema has failed. What did he do, Mr. Hichilema? When he went to Rundazi, Mr. Hichilema, he failed to do. He mentioned the same to say, I'll work on the road. President Hichilema, when he went to Western Province, the people of Sesheke told him to say, don't come here. You have failed to deliver the road. And President Hichilema, when he came back from Sesheke, or when he came back from Western Province, that's when he signed the contract to do the Sesheke Livingston Road. So if you think that President HH is the liar and is the one who is copying, sorry to say that, but that's a truth. Me as the messenger, I'll call a spade a spade. And it's not a sin to call someone a liar. And so President Hichilema is a liar because he lied to the people of Sesheke to say, in 2021, to say, once you vote for me, the people of Sesheke, I'm going to do this road. Did he do anything? The people of Solowezi, Mr. Hichilema lied to them to say, immediately I win, I'll send my vice president to come and commission a hospital. And Narumango, indeed, in 2022, Narumango was a VIP, went to Solowezi, commissioned the hospital. Have they done even a foundation? Nothing is still a forest that area.
If you say that the President Hakainde Hichilema is copying the same message as that of Brian Mundubile, how can we then trust that if President, as you're saying, that if President Hichilema hasn't delivered in these promises and the projects that he was promising to the people of Sesheke and in Mpulungu as well, how can we trust that Brian Mundubile will be the one to deliver on these projects? What makes him so different and so special?
This is now when the messenger now comes in, the one who is able to see the future. So me now, I'm telling you, even when we started the program, I told you already to say I can see what is ahead of you. So me now, I'm telling you who is ahead, who is seeing the future to say, Brian Mundubile will deliver. And we have seen already. What Brian Mundubile has been saying. You see, because contrary, if Mr. Hichilema can lie to the Zambian people, to the farmers to say, tomorrow I'm opening FRI, and then FRI fails to open, then how can you trust such president?
Talking and doing are two different things, Honorable. As you say that Brian Mundubile will deliver, because of what he's saying. He's saying, yes, we've heard a lot of politicians tell the people of Zambia that they're going to do this, they're going to do that. Not even just the president, even members of parliament are also culprits when it comes to making promises to the people that they represent in various constituencies, and they fail to deliver. So talking is one thing, but actual delivering of what you promise the people is also another issue. Why should we believe that from what Brian Mundubile is saying, he's actually going to do it if given a chance to preside over the affairs of the nation?
Can I tell you one thing which President Brian Mundubile has delivered to the Zambian people before even he has been elected?
Tell us.
So that you can believe it. Can I go ahead?
You can go ahead.
Yeah. President Brian Mundubile, the time he was elected the leader of Tonse, he promised the Zambian people to say, I'm going to bring all the opposition together so that we can remove this country. And he has delivered. 70% of the opposition, they are together with Brian Mundubile. Which means he means business. And he has managed to convince 70%. Even you in class, when you get 70%, have you failed or you have passed? Sorry, I'm not supposed to ask the general, you are the one who is supposed to ask me to respond, but sorry, just for this one. I'm just asking you for this one. Just do a favor to the Zambian people, this one. As a messenger, it's coming from a messenger asking you to say, when someone gets 70%, is it a pass or it's a fair?
It's definitely a pass, Honorable J. Banda, but if we're talking about Honorable Brian Mundubile bringing the opposition together, we can also speak about some of the biggest political figures in the country, especially those that are on the ballot with him that you spoke about, that you've spoken to them to work with Honorable Mundubile. And before now, every Zambian was expecting that the opposition would form a united front. So if we're talking about 70% achievement, and this is something that shows that the president of Tonse Pamosi Alliance would deliver if elected as president in Zambia, I don't know how we rate the 70% of him working with the opposition and the deliverables in the country at large. Okay,
now, as a messenger, since I call a spade and the spade, let me do something. If in a home, you are Catholic and your wife, and then someone from Pentecost is calling you, and then to say as the family come, and then you send your wife to Pentecost, what does it mean? It means that even you, the owner of the house, you have gone. That's why I'm telling you to say, here, I don't want to tell you everything, our plan, but now let's be open. Because I want now the people to know. Even Honorable Hari Kalaba, we are working with him. Don't you see that the Vice President, the running mate, is with us? Don't you see that all the members are with us? Don't you see even Mamembe? You shouldn't mislead people. We are working with him. He's right-hand man, Mamembe, who is the Brian Apunda. He endorsed Brian Mundovi. So
in short, you're working. Yeah, in short, you're working with Hari Kalaba and Dr. Fred Membe.
Everyone on the opposition now. Since I'm a messenger, let me deliver this message to the people. We are working with everyone in the opposition. Don't be deceived. Everyone in the opposition, we are working together. That's why you have seen to say they have sent their running mate to where? To Brian Mundovi Retonse. That's why I've just said to say 70%. I had withhold the 20%. But since I'm the messenger, I'll tell you. So even this 20%, which I had withhold, I've given you now, I can tell you to say, Brian Mundovi has delivered 90% of the opposition. They are working together. So tell me another question.
All right. Honorable J. Banda, we should have concluded a few minutes ago, but I think I'll ask you to give us your closing remarks. Obviously, we're looking forward to having another engagement with you before Zambia goes to the polls.
Yeah, thank you so much. Me, right now, my last words now, as I'm waiting for the way you have provided that you're going to invite me again before, since we are remaining with, I think, 22 days, before 22 days, you are going to invite me. My only request to each and every Zambian is now to start praying for our country to get the second independence. That's a request, and that's a message I have for each and every Zambian. Go down, pray, remember, look where you're coming from, and look where you are today. Then you are going to have good judgment.
Honorable, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon on the program. It's been a pleasure having you, and as I said, looking forward to having another engagement with you before Zambia decides once again. But maybe before I let you go, earlier on when we were starting our conversation, you said you'll be arriving in the country next month. Tell us how you're coming back to the country next month.
Yeah, thank you. Remember, me, I'm the messenger. I don't change goalposts. I told the people to say, I'll be arriving in Zambia together with the late former president, sixth Republican president. With him, we are going to arrive there so that even the papers for the party which he died fighting for, it will be given there. And I'll be one of the people receiving that certificate for PF to lay it on his coffin, just to put it there. And to be arriving in the country. So I can just ask people, start preparing or start praying for peace. Because we need just peace. God has already shifted the powers to President Brian Mundovi. President Brian Mundovi right now, we are just supposed now to ask him also to start working, to start putting to start putting everything in order. How he's going to start paying farmers, buying farmers, and how he's going to pay back the loan which the UPND got from the banks to pay for.
All right. We wish to see you next month, and I hope we see you in the country. It will be great to see you after a very long time. Honorable, thank you so much once again for making time for me, and do have yourself a lovely day.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day as well. But I can also ask you, as a messenger, don't forget to pray. I can see you. You are a lioness.
Thank you.
I'll end from there.
All right, we come to the end of the discussion on the Nation Empowers program. Joining me via video this afternoon was Honorable Emmanuel J. Banda, or Honorable Emmanuel Miracle J. Banda. I hope I haven't mixed up the names, but thank you. He was joining me via video this afternoon. He is former Petawoke Member of Parliament, as we're looking at the chances that the Tonse Pamosi Alliance has in this year's general election. My name is Lovisa Chilufia. Thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you so much to all our callers. Do stay tuned to Millennium TV. God bless.